Hey everyone, welcome back to Film Ranks. Today I want to talk about The Zone of Interest. And this is a film where it's gonna be something very particular, not easy to talk about, but I'm gonna get through it and I'm just gonna let you know if you haven't seen this, there's gonna be spoilers. So if you're ready for that, more power to you. And if not, just come back if you actually plan to watch the movie. But if you're cool with the spoilers, again, feel free to watch. No harm done. And yeah, I'm gonna get right into this film. And I'm gonna make this kind of brief because there's really not much to talk about this film other than it's about Nazis and this German family of Nazis and during World War II. And it's like not about war, but about this family like getting a new house, and they live right like next door, literally next door to a concentration camp. So that's pretty insane. It is insane. There's nothing to understate about that. It's pure insanity. And it's like a family sitcom, except the twisted part is that it's Nazis, you know? Like what kind of, like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like a family sitcom but about Nazis near a concentration camp. They're having a good old time, and then we have the Nazis next door to them crying and screaming in agony. It's very twisted, it's foul, and you understand the evil nature of Nazis. And I don't think you really need to see this film to understand the cruelty of Nazism, the barbaricism of Nazism. Like, again, like this film, it feels a little out of place to put a unique perspective of Nazis in a lens where you see how they see the world in rose tinted glasses, while the lives of these people are crashing and burning with the fear of genocide. Like, that's a very horrific thing. And that's where it's kind of stressful to watch this movie, because you want to see a redemption arc. You want to see something where one of the family members is going to rebel or do something that's out of the norm for Nazis. And you don't see that very much. Like, the parts where you have a little bit of hope is probably like this tiny within the film, and then there's like the rest of the film. So let me get into that. The daughter, the eldest daughter in this film, she has moments where she has sympathy, in my personal opinion, because she seems like she cries about like the suffrage, the suffering. She's crying about the suffering she knows that's going on with the Jewish people and how they're getting killed and murdered and all that bad stuff, and like basically brutally murdered and tortured. And she is pretty much going through it, crying, and she's having these lucid dreams too, where she's seeing like the beauty of nature, like butterflies and trees and berries and all this nice sort of things, and the imagery in the negative tint, which I assume is to see that like not everything is nice in the world. Because and her dreams that she has like throughout the film, because it happens in different parts of the film, like during the midsection of the film, she sees like destruction of property and she sees destruction of property, flames, and dead Jewish people from concentration camps. So that just goes to show that there is something very heinous going on that she knows is going on. And if you ask me, this film should have had an arc about her separately, and it should have showed her kind of rebelling to this ideology, like to teach a new generation of a family that doesn't believe in that, like it's rebellious to that sort of government. but we don't really get that in this film, so it's a hard watch, and you're not gonna really feel too good emotionally and whatever else there is, because it's a film that the worst possible situation that Jewish people had to confront in that time, and it's truly terrible. It's not easy to watch this film, I'm telling you right now. And there's other films that I would want to watch, like Schindler's List, and I plan these films out because I try to watch things where I know I can, like, pretty much feel like I'm not gonna make my day worse by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I feel like I'd have to be a pretty good place in life to watch certain films, because I just feel like the more bad stuff you watch on TV, the news, whatever it is, like, it's gonna bring you down, and you're not gonna get any abundance or greatness or confidence or anything good, like anything beneficial to your life. Watching things that that are gonna bring you down aren't the sort of things that I am a big fan of. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies. I understand why certain people watch them, but it's not my genre. I just challenge myself sometimes because either one, the story is interesting, or two, there's something to learn from what I'm watching, like this film. So 7 out of 10. That's my rating. I'm not a big fan, and neither do I hate it. I feel like this film, you could probably find yourself not even knowing about this film at all, because it's kind of an independent. I feel like a lot of people might not know about this film because it is an independent film, and if you do watch it, it's for either two reasons. Like, you want to know what happens in this film, or see what else you can learn from this story, was like Nazis and the concentration camps and stuff like that. But it has a lot of awkward moments, I will say that for sure. Like, there's just transitions in this film where it's like 20 seconds, 30 seconds long, and you just hear cries of agony and stuff like that, or a very close-up shot of a bee. Like, it's really weird. It's a very eccentric sort of film, and it ends awkwardly too. Like, the father is like sick, he's throwing up, possibly dying, who knows, because it jump cuts to a museum about where the family lived and stuff like that. So I don't know, this film, so that's how it ends. And yeah, that's all I can say about this film. It's a 7 out of 10. I feel like if they focus more on the daughter, who's actually sympathizing, possibly even just a little, then that's more than what the other family members have to offer, because they're completely oblivious to the fact that there's a concentration camp and people are dying mercilessly. And also, it just seems like the the German people in this film only seem to care about dogs. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, they seem to care more about dogs than having any real respect for each other. It just seems like people in this film care more about dogs and really checking up on each other and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's strange, because you'd think like they have sympathy and for dogs more than they do for Jewish people, and it's really twisted. And yeah, my sort of films, I'll let you know right now, they're more optimistic, they're more feel-good comedy stuff, they're more in the action adventure type of genres. But this film, it's just more like you're gonna sit through a point in time where it was true agony for Jewish people who had the unfortunate time to be in a place where it was very, very scary. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you haven't seen my other videos, please check them out. I have another channel called Coffee Mug Podcast where I talk about lifestyle stuff, life experiences, lessons on life. You know, I'm a pretty young person, and I mean, I'm a young person, so I know that, you know, there are still a lot of years ahead of me to gain wisdom and knowledge, but whatever I can share is what I want to do with that channel, because you don't have to be 80 years old to share information and go through life and give very good nuggets of knowledge and stuff like that, you know. So that's the whole idea was the podcast. And again, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.